Hey, it's George Hardy from Troll 2 and Best Worst Movie and Texas Cotton, and we're here from the Cinema Psycho Show, one of the world's best podcasts. So come on out and listen, and just remember, you can't piss on Cinema Psycho's show. Oh, God.
Nailed it. That's it right there.
Oh, goody, goody, here it comes.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Oh, my God, don't stop now!
With your hosts, Brian, John, and Elaine.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Cottington, and my fellow co-hosts and filmmakers, John and Elaine Woolscroft.
Guys, bad news. My AIDS gave me cancer.
Oh, man, that's weird.
Or did my cancer give me AIDS?
No, my cancer gave me AIDS.
No,
that's my thing.
I think your AIDS gave you cancerous bruises on your body.
Okay.
Cases?
Cases.
Into it.
Oh, yeah. We're on episode 131, and...
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Missed you guys.
Missed ya. We are doing a one of our pantheon of utter shits, and oh boy,
this might be the worst movie we've ever done for it.
I don't know. Birdemic was pretty bad.
No, this is worse.
There are moments where the camera is,
I think,
focused and exposed in Birdemic. I can't even say that for this movie.
This is a tough one. I think because Birdemic really made me angry.
There's nothing
Watching
redeemable about this movie.
No, this movie made me furious.
So,
again, John's fault.
Well, we haven't even talked
always.
about what the movie is. We are going to be reviewing The Last Vampire on Earth.
Oh my.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
It's bad.
And look, I know, except for a few of you, that you haven't seen this movie. Pause this now. It's on YouTube. Watch it and come back to us.
And here's the thing. It is on YouTube from the distributor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Of
it's
it.
free. That's
It
the
is
only good
free.
thing about this movie is that you can see it for free.
I'm a big American director. Save me money on DVD. I just put it on the YouTube.
Well, what was funny about the DVD, the video of this on YouTube, is that it has the DVD copy things at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Like it's got the things like someone ripped it straight from the DVD and just slapped it on there.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, what? It actually says like, do not copy this video disc. Like the same things you would see there on a YouTube video put out by the distributor.
Well, in fairness, that's the only mistake the movie made.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's
Oh yeah. That was all flawless. Otherwise.
And I didn't know anything about this movie. John, this was your fault.
I guess it is.
Like with most of these terrible films, you kind of find them for me.
These nuggets of garbage.
Nuggets of garbage. And I found that this has a little bit of a cult following, courtesy of Red Letter Media, because they did one of their best of the worst. And instead of doing kind of like multiple movies, this one was a rare one where the whole episode of Best of the Worst was devoted to.
I mean, they found
Last
a lot to
Vampire.
talk about, which I respect.
There is so much to break down
man.
with this thing.
There's a lot to go through. But now, John, you usually make me watch these things as a role. And Brian, I truly don't know how you're still here because you certainly don't think John's butt is as cute as I do. So
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
how you're still hanging around, man. Like kudos to you.
Well, I mean, the way I handled it was I watched this in 2 sittings. Okay, I didn't get the full
wow,
thing.
you took a
I
time
had
out.
to.
It's
All
only
right.
like 88 minutes and you had to do 2 sittings. That's how bad this
Well,
is.
That's amazing.
To
Not
be
gonna
fair,
lie.
to be fair, I saw this last night. Okay, so I watched half of it last night. Okay, before I went to bed, and then I watched the other half of it this morning before I came here.
Okay.
So to keep myself fresh.
And just a quick sidebar. Not that we weren't going to do this, because we eventually were going to do this, and we've been talking about it for a long time. We were going to do another Neil Breen, but
yes, this is important to bring up.
That son of a bitch only has one source to get his movies, and so John just pirated it. Like he actually has been able to keep it off
can't.
I
pirating
do
sites.
not know how he has done that. My only guess is that he's made his full-time job the policing of his work.
Yeah.
But he makes it so fucking hard to get any of his other movies. Like the only one that's actually available to watch and stream, like, legally,
Fateful Findings?
is Fateful Findings.
And because he doesn't have the full rights.
He doesn't have the rights to it. Yeah. So it was easy for us to go and watch that because it's readily available to stream.
But the only place that you can even buy his, because we'd have to buy it, it was out of stock.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like I originally was going to look at eBay. Okay.
Yeah, because that's the only place you can find it.
That's logical.
Well, that's one of the places you could find it that is not going to cost you $25 to $30 per disc. Okay, let's keep this on right here.
I wouldn't pay $30 for Saving Private Ryan.
I wouldn't.
Nope.
Like I could not rationalize buying any Neil Breen movies at that price.
No.
Like, and that's why I looked at eBay, because eBay, at least, people had already purchased them, so they're selling them secondhand. Yeah. And, at least with that, it makes like there were some on there that I saw that were like packs of movies that you can get for like $40. And I would pay $40 on eBay for maybe 2 of Neil Breen's movies. Okay. Or 3 of his movies. Okay. But he's made it so difficult that really the only way you could get a Neil Breen movie is, one, you have to go to his new movies website, which is like twistedpair.us or some shit like that.
Oh my God.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah. His new movie, Twisted Pair, is more bullshit. So you have to go there and you have to hit the PayPal buy button. What? But this gets even better. Like, he doesn't even have a link to buy his other movies. You have to click the PayPal buy button for Twisted Pair, and then in the comments for the PayPal buy button, you have to then request in the comments what movie you want.
Sounds flawless to me.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it's a riddle, trapped in enigma, trapped in a maze. Okay?
Trapped in some bullshit.
Trapped in a big old pile of bullshit. Yeah. So, as I said, we were going to do, I was going to do Double Down. Honestly,
yeah,
because I think that's his opus,
first.
his first opus, really. And we were gonna buy Double Down, and we were gonna review it. And you know what? I just said, fuck it, we're not doing that shit.
At $35 later.
At $35 later for his fucking movie.
No.
Which, by the way, it's not even like you're getting because I looked at what movie you're getting, and on Reddit there's actually a Neil Breen Reddit feed, and people were saying like, yeah, you're basically gonna get a burned disc with Double Down written on it.
Yeah, it was Sharpie.
Sharpie,
yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And it's going to have like Memorex on the disc.
Yes. So you're spending $35 for a burnt disc that has been Sharpied with the movie for Double Down.
Wow.
Probably misspelled somehow.
Probably misspelled with the E backwards or something like that.
Well,
So,
anyway.
yeah, Neil Breen, fuck you. We're going on to Last Vampire on Earth.
Today is not about Neil Breen. It is about Vitali Versace.
Yeah.
Not related to the real Versace's.
No, yeah. By the way, guys, just so you know, my new name is Johnny Prada. So
I'll call you nothing else.
I
will call
My
you
name will be
nothing
Brian
else.
Gucci.
But yeah, let's
Lane
talk
Claiborne.
Yeah, there we go.
It actually sounds like a real name. But let's talk about Vitali Versace real quick before we.
I make a American movie for you.
He's from Russia, but talks
Italian.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it does. He sounds a little like Bora.
I make a great movie. There are trees in the town, and so we decided why there are trees. We make movie.
That's from the premiere of this movie.
Yes, this movie had a premiere.
And
Red carpet.
The trees and the parks, and I thought they're perfect for a movie. I can't tell if this guy is incompetent or if he's like, I'm not good enough to make good movies, so I make really bad movie and get famous through the back door.
Through the back door?
Yeah, like I get famous for all wrong reason, but I pretend that I'm a brilliant filmmaker, and everybody say, oh, is he crazy? And I become famous, and I party with Paris Hilton.
Well, this is where we like to live when it comes to a bad movie, where the filmmaker thinks they're a genius. This is what I need from my film.
Yes, and this movie absolutely reeks of self-entitled genius that doesn't quite pay off.
And this is clearly shot on DV tape, but looks like VHS. It looks like a VHS tape quality.
Well, it looks like they shot it on Handycam. I mean, or
I'm sure it was.
There were some times when it looked like Handycam.
And they slapped like filters on it to try to force a depth of field. It made me nuts. I couldn't even focus. It gave me a headache.
Well, it wasn't even that. Like, are you talking about the vignetting they did?
I mean, there was vignetting on every scene, but no, especially I think they're in like the coffee shop and like she's in the foreground and he's in the background. Like it looks like there's a filter on it to just like blur everything except his face.
So before we jump into this plot, Lane, I'm going to ask you a series of things, and you let me know if they failed or not, okay?
Okay.
Acting.
Terrible. Fail.
Casting.
Fail.
Cinematography.
Fail. Double fail.
Editing.
It had 2 editors and they both failed.
Wow.
Direction.
Fail. Big old
Producing.
fail.
Big old fail.
Big old fail.
Special effects.
Oh my.
Mythology.
What special
Bad.
effects?
So bad.
special
He had
effects?
super vampire
When he
speed.
plays the ping pong.
You mean when they just like said, okay,
Sped up the
stop the
footage?
tape, speed it up,
Yeah.
and then
it
they
goes back and
recycled the
forth.
shot like 4 times.
Yeah.
And then don't
Plays
forget
the
the
ping
smoke in the
pong.
beginning.
Oh shit, that's right. There was smoke.
Yep, there
Yeah.
was smoke.
Which is clearly just a filter in After Effects that like it has no source.
You know
It's
how
just-
many filters I spotted in effects and spotted in this movie?
There's so many. It's so
he
highly
used
affected.
a cell pattern in the beginning. He used what was it? The noise effect inside of After Effects for the clouds in the sky.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ, man, you're
You
not
couldn't shoot the actual fucking sky.
Not even just that. Not even just that. Like what you're supposed to do with those effects is build upon them. Make them so that people like me who work with this stuff on a daily basis or at least have some cursory knowledge of it don't go, oh yeah, that's an effect from that program. Or that's a tutorial thing from that
Oh,
tutorial.
yeah.
Like I could spot it all.
It would have been 10 times easier to go shoot the night sky for
Yeah.
an hour on a tripod than it was to fucking create that in post-production. And it looks horrible.
Or here's a simple one. Like he's talking about like that particular scene you're talking about. He's talking about what was it? What was the constellation?
Yeah, you know, talk about the constellation. You were talking about stars because you live on planet for 2,000 years. You used to hang out with Jesus.
Well, my point is like the constellation. I don't think you could spot it at all.
No.
In there.
No, of course not.
Because
It
they
doesn't
didn't
even
bother
look
to
like
actually
anything.
put the constellations
Yeah,
up
like
there.
I don't. As I
surround
said,
it with stars.
this movie was so convoluted. I don't even remember the constellation that they were talking about. But you don't even see it. You just see a star field.
And if you haven't seen this movie and you heard the title Last Vampire on Earth and you thought to yourself, is this a Twilight ripoff?
Yes, it is.
Unbelievably
Like
so.
Google it and look at the images. Like all the cover art is so clearly trying to like cash in on Twilight.
They even, and this is the best part. Like I was reading about this film, and it turns out that the distributor, I think this went through a couple different distributors.
I can't imagine why.
The distributor took this movie and actually recolorized the film
What?
to make it more similar to Twilight.
Wow.
And
So, like the version we saw on YouTube was not the version that went out on DVD.
Oh, wow.
The version that we saw was the original version. The version that they got on DVD with the Twilight cover, that's actually tinted blue.
Oh my god. That's the only thing that could have made it worse.
Yeah.
Is for it to be more colorized than it was.
And it's there to confuse Grandma, right? Like, here you go, you like Twilight, honey. It's like, this isn't Twilight, Grandma.
No, Grandma, this isn't right.
What?
This
You like the
isn't
Twilight?
it.
Well, the funny part about that is like there's a studio out there, and I think we mentioned this a couple times in the show.
Yes.
Called The Asylum, and
Yes.
they are notorious for basically taking popular movies that are out there and doing complete and utter ripoffs. This and their ripoffs are at least competently made
Yeah.
to a point.
Science fiction or sci-fi channel
At
movie
least
quality.
That's what
They're-
I'm saying. They're in focus.
Yeah. They're exposed correctly.
They're exposed correctly. They're edited to a degree. They're directed to a degree. They're not anything to write home about. And those movies are actually designed to court your grandma, who knows you like Transformers. And
There's
you look
battle
and,
robots.
Well, I've got Transmorphers, and that's basically the same
Transmorphers,
thing. And the thing is, this movie.
This one was only $5.
Well, well, they apparently just give this one away. This movie, like it almost seems like it's trying to get to the level of The Asylum, but it can't even get to that level of ridiculous parody.
Do we want to talk about the scam book that's connected with it?
Oh yeah. This blew
scam-
my mind, John, when you told me about this.
This is some
blew my
Daddy Derek
mind.
shit.
Well, yeah, so obviously Twilight, and they put on the poster for the movie based on the critically acclaimed book series by Stephanie Myers.
I don't know if I would call Twilight critically acclaimed.
Well, I mean, it sold
They
like
sell
hotcakes.
it. They sell it.
Yeah, but do the critics like it?
No.
Well, then it's not
But,
critically
yeah.
acclaimed. It's popular.
Yeah.
The popular
book
book
yeah.
series, not
Doesn't sound
critically
as good.
acclaimed.
That's why you say gourmet mac and cheese.
Oh,
you know?
yes, that's
Words that don't even mean anything anymore.
Right. So they decided to lie and say that The Last Vampire on Earth is based on a book. But the thing is, you can be sued for that. So
For what? For lying?
yeah. So basically, they went back and made the screenplay into a book with the actors on the cover of the book. Which, if it's this,
But they're not
based,
in the book. That's the best
Yeah.
part. Like pictures of, because I guess the book has pictures of them.
Yeah, if it's based,
and they're
on
not in the
book.
book. It's stock photo.
Yeah, then how is it them? Like
It's
Yeah.
so messed up.
And yeah, it's like 100 pages in giant font, and they just rush this out just to like avoid.
See, here's a book.
So they can say based on the hit book series Last Vampire on Earth.
And it was put out by Versace Entertainment. Now, did you ever see the back cover of that book?
No, I didn't.
No.
I saw this on the Red Letter Media video that was posted. They're so incompetent. They actually cut off the label. For the T in entertainment is cut off on the back of it.
Well, I
They
mean,
couldn't even get that right.
I mean, this is a rush job just to like not be sued.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care how
Yeah.
it looks.
Yeah.
Wow.
And no one's
That's
really going to
ridiculous.
buy that book.
Hey, Mr. Mafioso, your flower shop, all the flowers seem to be dead. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Bada boom, bada bing. This isn't a cover place for my mafia dealings.
Oh my God, the doctor was miscast completely. It was really bad.
Oh, yeah.
He seemed so
All right.
shady. It was so bad.
So let's start breaking this down
Oh,
a bit.
Jesus.
So it's the easiest way to break down the beginning of the movie. It's Twilight.
Kind of.
A college student
Kinda.
instead of high school, meets the mysterious, broody vampire guy, who is the I'm sorry to be shallow and mean, but he is butt ugly.
He's pudgy.
And the thing is, like, he's supposed to be this like
Sexy,
Edwardian,
Well, I mean, they gave
sexiest
him an
man alive.
Edwardian wig to wear.
Yeah.
it's almost like borderline Bieber hair. I
It's-
don't
yeah.
understand.
Now, what I don't get is they basically try to combine characters
Yeah.
with what's Aurelius.
Aurelius.
That's the main character's name.
Vitaly, you son of a bitch. Aurelius, a terrible fucking name. The name of an emperor in Rome, which I'm guessing that's where he got it from.
Yeah.
He was living in
Yeah,
them days.
that was his
Aurelius.
pops.
Yes, his props. So anyway, Aurelius is kind of like a combo character of Edward and Bella. Okay? Because Bella was kind of like the quiet one in Twilight and didn't have any friends and all that shit. So Aurelius is kind of like a vampire, but he's also a Bella.
That's fair. I've watched a lot of Vampire Diaries as well. I feel like they took a lot from Vampire Diaries too. I really do.
Except Ian Somerhalder and what's his face, the other guy, the blonde guy. They're both beautiful people.
Paul Wesley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They thought, we need to cast really, really good-looking guys, and not the guy they cast in Last Vampire on Earth.
Yeah.
And I'll leave him alone after that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the only thing to just say is that Aurelius, he's not good looking.
Yeah.
He's not butt ugly, but he's also like not what you would imagine a vampire would be. Like
it makes me wonder if he was the only man that
that's
tried
my guess.
out.
Like vampires have always been like wrapped in the mystique of dark sexuality and that sort of thing. And even with the Twilight shit, you have that same sort of dark sexuality mixed in with it. It's not there.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just
even
not there.
even at best, I mean, I don't think Robert Pattinson has any kind of like real charisma or magnetism.
Yeah.
But like to take even the little bit away that Cedric Diggory had and like take it down
Just
to
call him
like
Cedric Diggory.
I
did.
did.
You
I
did.
did. That's for my Harry Potter fans out there. But like to take the little that he did have and like just to make it just some like guy in Ohio
Yeah.
who like auditioned for this film and is in like a bad wig. It doesn't work.
he crushes 6 beer can into the garbage. Yeah, I'll try
You'll
out, whatever.
So-
do I have to talk? Because I can't move my mouth.
So guys, can I
anymore.
just can I do the plot of the film? Because I think I can do it in
Sure.
one sentence.
Okay.
So a college girl meets this vampire Aurelius in her literature class where her quirky professor wants them to perform Dracula. Yeah. And she
I got
is
some comments about that. Professor.
battling AIDS and cancer and begs the vampire to turn her into a vampire. Her Christian family finds out and she shoots a man in
Jehovah's
cold
Witnesses.
blood. Are they Jehovah's? Okay.
Witnesses, yeah.
Okay, so her Jehovah's Witness family finds out, she shoots a man in cold blood, and she and the vampire live happily ever after and after and after and after. Get it? Because they're immortal.
That's
That's a clap. That's a clap right there.
Thanks, guys. I did it.
Yeah, that's good. You basically got the plot there.
It's absurd.
It is
class is doing
really
Dracula.
absurd. Yeah. First of all, okay, I have a little bit of experience with this. I have taught things,
Stuff and things.
in college settings. He's teaching literature. Okay, I get that. Since when did literature also turn into drama class?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lane, what was
And
it?
why
He's
does-
definitely unique or
oh no, he's
Well,
like unusual.
He doesn't know how to talk
Yeah.
because he's clearly like being fed lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
He's like,
you gotta
we are
figure-
going to make
Everybody's
this.
reading cue cards off
Yes.
screen.
you gotta figure more than 4 people auditioned for this film. Was this really the best that they could get? I mean,
that's for Talia Versace's dad, right? That's,
it's
that's his
just
boss.
crazy because, when John and I were in college, I had the idea that when we were in film club, we always needed actors, and there was a theater department at our school. So every year for film club, I held auditions every year, and we came up with a dossier. If people wanted to give us their headshot, we would have them audition on tape, and then everybody in the film department had access to these people. Now they were our age, so if we wanted to do something with adults, that was either you put a kid in a fedora, or you did it straight and asked a teacher to do it.
Right.
But we had access to people, and our colleagues were good. I mean, we were young, but there was people with talent, certainly.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he couldn't find anybody with talent.
And that's the first knock on this is that, I thought these were all his friends.
They probably are his friends and family.
Well,
But,
no,
the main
not the two
female,
leads, not
no.
the two
I mean,
leads. No,
If you watch the news story about the premiere of this, you see that they actually had a casting.
yeah,
agent.
they had a casting call. And
So
a
that
casting
means
agent.
these are people that I guess fit the bill for acting ability.
And listen, I'll give the main lead actress an out. She was 15.
And that is a creepy factor.
It is. It's very
You
creepy
watch
because
this movie,
because
I didn't know
she
about
is
that.
sexualized.
Oh my god!
Well, and the male lead is quite a bit older than her, I think. Now, I think she plays
yeah.
as 18. She seems
Now,
18.
The only thing they do, they only make smoochies.
Right.
Yeah, but what
It's
is she
pretty
wearing?
Innocent.
What is she
otherwise.
wearing? A
Yeah.
lot of times,
Like
Well,
a
that,
short skirt.
schoolgirl outfit.
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit of that.
But, I'll give her a
Chris
pass because
Hansen.
she did this when she was
Chris
really
Hansen,
young.
Vampire Slayer.
Oh, my God.
Why don't you take a scene?
I
Take a
need
seat.
that.
Why
And a
don't you eat
stab in
out
the
eat one
heart.
of them?
Brian, can that please be the graphic for this? Chris Hansen with a steak in his hand. Please. Oh my God. I've never asked you for
Chris
anything.
Hansen, Vampire Slayer.
It won't make any sense if you haven't listened to the episode.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they're doing Dracula, and obviously, our male lead gets cast as Dracula, and she gets cast as the female lead in it, and they start to hit it off, and he gets invited to her house where he finds out that she's a Jehovah's Witness, and he's working with blood, he wants to find
he's
cures
studying hematology.
for diseases like AIDS and diabetes.
Diabetes.
Yeah. And the dad is like, oh, well, we don't believe in blood transfusions because our blood is sacred. And it's hilarious because I don't think it was meant to be a dig, but he's like, wow, I guess it would really suck if you guys were in a horrible accident and needed a blood transfusion.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Yikes.
yeah, because
Kind of
that,
you guys are idiots.
And listen, I mean, there's different faiths that do not accept blood product, for life-saving measures. And, people have different beliefs.
that's fine.
It's fine. But to put that in this film was also
it
kind
was
of a bold
unusual.
choice. It was
My guess is
strange.
Vitaly was just like, yes, we have vampire. what foil could we have for a vampire? Oh, yes, a Jehovah's Witness. They don't like blood.
And, and
that's the mind thought right there.
It gets to the point where her family consists of her Mama June, her mom.
I mean, come on. Like, typically casting directors try to, for parents at least, they try to match you with someone.
Well, her little brother
looks like
the mom, and the dad looks like the daughter. It's like, but they look like two separate families.
Yes, they do. Yeah. I watch. I'm just like, there is no way that mom is related to that daughter at all, at all.
Yeah,
you know. And that's fine. Maybe they were a blended family. That's cool. You could have told us that.
Yeah. But she finds out over the course of the movie that he's a vampire. She's immediately cool with it. She's
like
line.
obsessed with it. She thinks it's awesome.
Did you meet Jesus? He's like, I heard him talk.
He's a cool guy.
Of course, every vampire has met Jesus.
Of course,
that's not a trope or anything.
My favorite part of that was he just couldn't out and out come out and say I'm a fucking vampire.
Yeah,
he had to do like, oh, I gave you some research materials for the role of in Dracula. Here. And she somehow puts two and two together instead of saying...
She starts remembering other hints.
Remembering, oh, yes, he's pale. And he gave me vampires. Like,
and he's broody.
He could just be a goth guy.
Like
that's... Why do you jump from, oh, yes, he is a weird guy who's pale and, doesn't eat food at my family... Like, he could be anorexic. You don't know that. I mean, you don't know. He could have an eating disorder or something like that. But you jump to vampire.
Yeah, she makes a lot of bold conclusions.
Like, you're a vamp. One, did you notice that they did that whole thing that's in Twilight where Edward's like, oh yes, just say it.
Yeah, and how old are you? 20. How long have you been 20? That's literally taken from Twilight.
Yeah. 2,080 years.
And I think it's funny because...
Wouldn't it have been amazing if he was like, no, Jesus never existed, idiot. Sorry to burst your bubble and your stupid religion.
Yeah, I've been like, he wasn't that great of a guy.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick, actually.
Well, it's funny because...
went to his head. He was like the M. Night Shyamalan of his day.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Well, what's funny is that, even the source of this, Twilight is just so bad, but, when you take something that has so many technical problems, like The Last Vampire on Earth, it's really hard to get past them because, I'm a very visual person, and when you are confronted with these images that are just...
hurts.
I mean, John and I discussed it at length, and I mean, it seemed like something you would see in college intro class, and that's fine.
For a short class,
when you're trying,
short film, yes,
yeah, when you're trying for
first time you ever picked up a camera.
Hey,
yeah,
we all got to start somewhere. My first film wasn't great or anything.
Oh, I always attribute my first film to the picture of Dorian Gray.
You just don't look at it.
You just don't look at it. If you don't look at it, it doesn't exist. But the minute you look at it, you just
fine.
like, oh,
it's
God.
you remember it better.
You remember it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I would never say anybody who's tried to create art, and failed, it shouldn't have done it, because the process can be pleasurable, and I think it's important to express yourself. But for this guy to have this kind of an ego on him when there's just no skills involved, it just there was nothing to this film that. I mean, every part of it was bad. It was improperly mixed. The audio was too low with the music that was mixed in. I'm
glad you brought up the audio.
Every 5 seconds, John would be like, "What?" when we couldn't hear the dialogue.
Well, they also mumbled on top of not being able to hear.
Yeah. Well, you can tell they weren't mic'd. You can tell they weren't properly mic'd.
Well, they weren't mic'd. Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing too. And this is it's a mistake that new filmmakers do all the time.
This is his fourth film.
This is not his fourth film. Don't tell me that.
It's his fourth
film.
It's
his fourth film. Okay.
I can't believe this is his fourth film.
So this is a mistake I see new filmmakers do. And that is where you believe that literally every single scene has to have music in the background. Every single scene. There was not one scene in this movie.
You're covering up your microphone hiss.
Yes. but that's something that, I've done it when I was first starting out making movies. Every filmmaker does it. It's their first mistake you do.
Oh, yeah.
You believe that every scene needs to have background music.
Well, I made the mistake of thinking I had to edit to music, like to get like a beat to the scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then obviously it stays in. Yeah, I did that too.
Everybody
every
does
scene
that.
has music.
But,
every scene.
But the thing is, like, this movie, it is 90 minutes. Oh, actually, it's 70, I think. It's 20.
Somewhere in between, like 85, 88.
Yeah. It has
with three opening
It has
credit
15
sequences.
minutes of credits.
Yeah.
You know, in it. But the point is like, I'm watching this, I'm going like, why does he have music in this scene? Why is there music in this scene? Like, literally every single scene.
Why is the music so loud?
And
It's
all
always
loud.
louder than the
It's not,
dialogue.
Yeah, it's not mixed.
And it doesn't fit the scene either.
No.
Like, there's a scene where they're at a coffee shop just going over the lines for Dracula, and it's
yeah. Or he's
like,
got,
what is that?
Or my favorite is he's got music that has lyrics to it. And the music with lyrics is playing.
It's louder than the dialogue.
And it's louder than the dialogue. So it's like, I can't fucking hear this shit.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, there are a multitude of mistakes, the music being and the sound mixing being one of them. But, you know, we mentioned before, the actress in this is 15 years old and is put into some situations that are really icky.
Well, and like, okay.
Because I didn't know that until literally before we started recording.
One of the worst
I was
things,
just like, oh, God.
one of the worst things about this movie is the actress's performance. But I will say this in her defense.
She's 15.
Yeah, and I'm sure her parents said, "You're such a pretty girl. Let's put you into a modeling agency." And that's where they found her headshot.
Yep.
Yeah, and they said, "Hey, do you want to try out for
Casting
this
agent
movie?"
came, like,
She went,
about,
oh,
yeah.
a movie, a feature-length movie?
Yeah.
And she tried out and like, she's just so terrible. But you can't blame her. She had
She
no
still is
experience.
pretty
and she's
bad.
15.
And two, I mean,
I would
that's
love
on
to
a-
see me in a movie at 15.
Well,
it
and
would have
that's
been terrible.
I have seen you in a movie in 15, and it's the greatest thing of all time.
I was 17.
Oh, okay. Well, I literally hid it for
That's
him
fine.
because he hates it,
I'm
and I
in a
love
couple
watching
when
it.
I was around 16.
Because
so
you're
I
just a
understand
baby, and you're so fucking cute.
I had the long hair there.
Oh, so
yeah.
cute. Oh,
I had
I
it down to the
can't.
shoulders.
that. Wow.
I can't. Oh, okay. Sorry. I needed a minute. But no,
do you need a minute? Do you-
I'm all right. I'm gonna make it.
I was like
but
fat-faced, pimply Jim Morrison.
you were so cute. Shut the fuck up. You were so cute. But no, but yeah, I mean, but two, there was no direction either. You can tell, like, and that's on the director as well. Like, I'm not saying like, you know, I think it's easy to be like, oh, I'd be so much better than that guy or whatever. But like, I feel like I'm pretty good with actors, and I'm pretty good, you know, with that sort of thing. I
You
think
would
I could
tell them
have.
kind of what the intention of the scene
I think I could.
is,
I think I could have
right?
pulled more out of a performer, even a new one.
I
You know,
kept making the joke one take Versace.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, there were times where people would stutter over their lines
And just
then
be like,
look at
"Wait,
the
what?"
camera, and like, no, we keep going.
We go. We do-
DV tape expensive.
I just don't understand how you could not want to take some of it again.
But yeah, in the movie, there's two key points.
Yeah.
One is that our lead actress here, the character has AIDS, which is now given
We
her
don't
cancer.
know that yet.
Right.
But
Well,
we
it gets to the point where we
we
find
did
out.
find she's sick.
Yeah, so
with
she-
Yeah.
something.
She has cancer and AIDS.
Cancer,
So-
AIDS.
She had AIDS first, and it gave her
It gave her
cancer,
cancer.
right?
Yes. Yes.
And then
We're not being glib about cancer
No,
or
this-
AIDS,
this
folks.
is
This is
literally
what the
in the
movie
movie.
tells us.
Yeah.
She had AIDS, and it gave her cancer. So we're making fun of the illogic of this situation, not that AIDS or cancer are funny.
and then after the second dinner sequence, she walks in and finds her. I don't even know if they're supposed to be dating or in love at this point, by him barfing up the food because he can't eat it. And she's like, "I'm sorry, I forgot you can't eat food because you're a vampire." And the little, her like little
Little fat turd.
yeah, little fat turd just hears this, like the little brother, and goes and tells the family. And in the greatest sequence, I'm just gonna act this one out real quick.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Mom, I got something to tell you. Cut to Family Feud.
It was his favorite part of the whole
that
damn
was
movie.
that Family Feud?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was Steve Harvey Family Feud. And they turn it off and they're like, "What is it, son?" So I heard talking and something I could misunderstood. I realized that he was a vampire. She's like, "No, son, they're in Dracula. They probably heard him talking about the play." "No, he's a food man, barf because he's a vampire." And they go,
They
"Oh
believe
my
it.
God, it can't be." And they immediately accept this.
I saw that scene too, and I just kept going like, let's get this straight here. Yeah. You believed right off the bat.
Yeah.
The little fat turd saying,
Aw.
I'm sorry.
He's a nugget.
He's a nugget. Okay.
God.
You believe the little kid right off the bat that there's a vampire. No, believing that vampires don't exist.
Yeah, believing they exist in the first place.
You first of all, like, you don't go to maybe Aurelius is sick. Maybe he had a stomach ache or something like that. Maybe he's got the shits. You mean, like, there's a million reasons why you could be sick. Maybe Mama June's cooking isn't that great.
Her KFC. Yeah.
Her KFC. Maybe there's something else, but you immediately off the bat go to, he's a vampire. Let's go string that son of a bitch up and kill him.
Yeah, kill that motherfucker.
And that's where they go.
Well, and I mean, it could have said something interesting or profound about prejudice or like not, accepting people
Vitaly
different
is
from
not
you.
that
but
kind of
yeah, but it
director.
has no other point.
He is not a thinking man's
It has
director.
no other point except just what's right in front of you. And
Yeah.
that's where, that's another level on the many, many, many failures of this film. But that's another level.
Well, Lane, it leads to, as you mentioned, they have him tied to the stake and they're going to burn him.
Oh yeah, like they quite literally go straight
Dad
up
gets his
to
church posse
He gets
together.
his Jehovah Witnesses posse
To kill that motherfucker.
and like Mama June turns into like really like I'll fucking kill this vampire.
Yeah.
Like off the bat, like she looks like
this
she's
motherfucker
got murder in
needs
the eyes.
Even though they thought he was a very pleasant man.
He's a very
And, like,
pleasant
in
man.
the
And
dinner,
they clearly would let their 15-year-old daughter, who's playing a college student, go and date this man.
But
and
the
all that
daughter
stuff.
shows up to rescue him with a gun, which is
Plastic-
a painted squirt
plastic.
gun.
It's so cheap looking. I didn't even notice at first, but then it's so bad.
She doesn't even have her finger on the trigger.
Yeah. And
in
it's so
wide
bad.
shots.
Like, Versace, go buy a real gun. You can buy a handgun. You have to wait a week, but
Well, not
for
even just
$200.
that. Not even just that. He could go on eBay and
Or-
buy an airsoft gun
That's horrifying.
that looks similar to a real gun.
Nobody doesn't have somebody in their life that has a handgun you can use as a prop in the movie.
Especially when they shot in Ohio.
I'm not even
it's like
just saying
glorified
I would
Pennsylvania.
never tell anyone to use a real gun because it is dangerous. But what I'm suggesting is you could buy an airsoft handgun for like $30 off of eBay or Amazon, and they look real. They have recoil and everything. The only difference is it's not shooting bullets; it's shooting pellets. Yeah. So there's no excuse for that.
Well, I would say use a real gun, and in any ammo shop you can buy blanks.
Well, that's true too.
I think you do have a good point, though, Brian.
Have a professional on set that understands.
Especially at this level. I mean, this is like the bare bones of independent cinema. Probably not a good idea.
If it were me, I would if I was making a movie because I don't have a whole lot of money, I would probably just go and buy airsoft guns.
Yeah,
and I'd notify local police and be like, "Hey, we're making a movie here. Just so you know, in case you get any calls." We are using airsoft guns. We're not using anything with bullets or anything like that.
Right.
So please don't come and, arrest us or shoot us or anything like that. So, but the point is that, she up and murders one of the posse men, right?
Oh, yeah. Richard Belzer.
Do we think that she's murdered? I mean, I wasn't sure.
She shoots him in the spine.
She's not that good of a shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and the thing is,
I thought she was going to shoot his hand because he was going to light the fire, the vampire up.
Is that what it was? Why is that? Why is she shot? There's 7 or 8 people in this posse.
Yeah.
And the one guy she shoots looks a little like Richard Belzer.
Oh yeah, it does. It does look like Belzer.
And
that cracks
out
us
of
up.
nowhere, because I guess she decides she's not getting through to them. She shoots Richard Belzer in the spinal cord.
It's because he was going to light it up.
Okay.
Yeah, and she says, "I'm not kidding around," or something like that.
I'm not kidding around.
It's really bad.
Lane, you're a female. Do it.
I'm not kidding around.
Nailed it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And after she shoots this guy, she just unties Aurelius. It's like, let's go home, Denny. And they just let her leave.
This is also the scene where it's revealed that she's not been sick with any sort of illness. She's got the AIDS.
AIDS and the cancer.
AIDS and the cancer. And she's like...
It seemed like she hid it from her whole family.
She did. And
I
that
had the
doesn't
answer. I
make
had the
any
AIDS and the
sense.
cancer.
That doesn't make any sense because I'm like, you're probably still on your mom and dad's health insurance. at
Right,
this
I
point.
totally thought of that.
Like-
that she would not be able to hide it from them.
not be able
That's
to
what I
just
said to you
go to
last
the
night. I
doctor.
said she would not be able to hide that from
No
them.
way.
Yes, thank you,
If
Brian.
you've got drug cocktails and all this other stuff, your family is gonna know. Like
They're going to know what you're being treated for, especially if you go to the doctor like every
Yeah.
fucking day.
Here's where the movie goes completely batshit off the rails. After she has freed Aurelius, and now she can't go home. She's committed murder, and her family has disowned her, I'm sure. She just, a day later, does the fucking Dracula play like nothing happened.
Well, come on. Let's be honest here, John. Her life may be going to shit, and she may die of the AIDS cancer, but she is not going to get an F.
No.
Literature.
The thing that bothers
No
me...
fucking way.
I really wish that Belzer was in the audience in a wheelchair like, good job! I can't feel my dick, thanks a lot!
No, the thing that bothers me about it is that they harp like on how strange it is that this lit professor wants them to perform something, and they keep commenting how odd it is.
It's definitely unique, I think.
Like, why would you keep pointing out how strange it is? Why wouldn't you just make it a theater class if you think it's weird? Like, I don't know, like, it's just really bizarre.
Because nobody reads Dracula. They only watch the movies.
Dude, I was a moody little bitch when I was in high school. The year I was too old for trick-or-treating, I went and I cuddled up with fucking Dracula and I read that book all night and had a whole bunch of fucking emo feelings.
To be fair, I watched all the vampire movies. I really did.
Dude,
I read Dracula.
I read Dracula too.
Yeah,
but I watched the movies first.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I just feel like you aren't really like capturing the experience of being a human in the world. Like, these filmmakers that just seem so removed from being human, like, you know, Vitali. And he has that Tommy Wiseau thing going on where he just doesn't seem like a person.
There's literally a football throwing scene in the movie.
And I'm not, you know, and I'm not saying like everybody
I guarantee
universally
you, he saw The Room and was just like, oh yes, I make terrible movie like Room, only vampire.
But like, I'm not saying universally everyone's read Dracula or anything. Like, I'm not saying that's like the grounding commonality that we all have as a race or anything. But I'm just, for them to think it was so weird that this lit professor wants them to perform something like that really.
No,
if we're nitpicking at like weird, bizarre things, like that's a weird, bizarre thing.
You know what's weird and bizarre is the
movie.
actual performance of Dracula that came at the end of the movie.
They're all in bare feet.
They're even terrible
They're in
actors
bare
when they're
feet.
pretending to be
and
acting.
what's with the like barrier thing that's going around them?
Their only set design.
Like,
yeah.
Apparently no one thought of, hey, you know, if we set up that we need to do a performance of Dracula in costume and shit, maybe we actually have to design sets for it.
Look, I've dabbled in theater. I've done acting and I've done backstage stuff. These actors all turn their back to the audience, and I know that's
right
not
there.
something you're supposed to cheat out to the
And
audience
for-
at all
and one thing
times.
here, why is there an audience? This is for a literature
It's supposed to be for class. That's true,
So-
Brian. I
so
never thought of
honestly,
that.
You should just be performing
For the
this
teacher.
in your class for the fucking teacher.
Yeah.
You know, because the teacher's a maniacal asshole.
Weird sex pervert who
Weird
gets
sex
off
pervert.
on gets doing
It's like,
Dracula.
I want to see your feet, no shoes.
Yeah. Give me all the shoes. This is what Nom did to me. Sorry, Patton Oswalt. I just stole your joke.
Aw.
I gotta put a quarter in the steel jar. That's from Patton Oswalt's routine.
He's pretty great. I like him a lot.
But yeah, like my only guess is that he had access to the stage, so he's like, okay, we got access to the stage. We cannot let them know we were here because they don't know we're here. So no shoes on the stage at all. If we stuff
We
up the
can't leave any
stage,
evidence,
we
yeah.
will be sued. We don't have anything for props, so let's get that thing that's in the back of the stage, which is just the barrier that they use for tickets.
Yeah.
And let's put that there, and we'll call it a day. Yeah. That's literally. My guess is that's what.
Well,
happened.
again, another fail. I mean, there's no production value. There's no locations to speak of. I mean, and I know you can do this on a budget. You know, like I mean, we had Len Kabaczynski on the show, who's a Pennsylvanian independent filmmaker. You know, limited means, who just does it for the passion of it. He's gotten some awesome locations over the years, like where his films have had a nice landscape. You know, like it's not that hard.
It's called. Like, you can tell that Vitali in his mind cares about this film, I think that's the only reason why we're actually like sitting here talking about it.
Right, because he
Why it's
cared and
become
like
a
he thought
cult
it was going to
film,
be genius.
is he thought it was going to be genius. But I don't think like he put enough effort to crafting it to the standards
Any effort.
that any effort to craft it to the standards that you could say belong with like even The Room. You know, The Room has real sets.
The Room looks more competent than this.
Yes.
This makes The Room look competent.
Yes, even
Well, because it was
Birdemic
competently
does.
shot. You know, I mean, that makes a big difference when the visuals match up. You know, like
Because they had a real cinematographer.
yeah, and I mean, we can talk about The Room all day long for its nonsensical dialogue and ridiculous plot line, but that's really the main thing there is to talk about. Whereas with something like The Last Vampire, it's actually kind of offensive to look at.
It is very
and just nothing works because like on top of no talent, there was no money.
Well, and the movie wraps up with she's decided that she wants to live forever, and he's going to turn her into a vampire, and he does it on stage.
Yeah, in front of like all these witnesses.
I'm like, okay, so there's some murder happening right now.
Let's
on
make
stage.
sure we do it in front of
'cause you
people.
do technically kill somebody for them to be reborn.
Yes,
as
that
a
is how it
vampire.
works.
And the thing is, all I could think was
They don't just magically turn into a vampire the minute you bite them. Like they have to die first.
all I could
Well,
think,
there's a lot of different thoughts on this. Like, you know, the vampire bites you, then you have to bite the vampire in some instances.
some instances you have to drink the blood.
Or you have to die with their blood in your system. Like, it's like a whole thing.
Well, like,
the whole
this
process.
makes me think of the Jessica character on True Blood. I think that was her name.
Yes.
And like she is pissed because she died, like with her period. Like so that
She's gonna constantly always have
have
a
her
period.
period. So is this character?
Gonna die with the AIDS
Is
cancer.
she gonna have like the AIDS virus for
well,
eternity?
He did say that he could save her.
With his blood work or be turning her into a vampire?
They didn't really.
Maybe he made her
Because the thing
immortal
is, like,
so he could
made her
cure her
immortal.
disease.
Or yeah, like the thing is, she's not going to die from AIDS now, but is she just going to suffer with AIDS for eternity?
I don't know.
don't
I'm
know.
a little confused by your analogy with Jessica from True Blood.
She constantly still has.
Because she died in the
Or
mythology.
no,
of
she has
True-
a hymen.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yes.
forgive me,
Not
but she was a
excuse me.
virgin when she
Yes.
died, and
Yes.
so her hymen
keeps growing back.
kept regenerating.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
And
that was what I was confused
bad.
about.
yeah,
sorry.
and basically it takes you to the point when you were bit and
Women are confusing.
Yes, we are. We are like human Rubik's cubes.
yeah, but I mean that's the thing is none of that was in the movie. None of that was explained.
Yeah.
Because typically with most vampire movies that are done well, you have the rules of that world, how it pertains to vampires, kind of laid out to you. You know?
Right.
There's always a scene when the vampire hunter says, okay, yeah, you know all that shit you saw in movies? That doesn't exist. So here's the real rules. And that wasn't in here. You know, we're going based off of audiences' expectations of what vampires are. And
This movie needed a Van Helsing.
yes, it did. It did need a Van Helsing, but it needed some explanation of what the rules are. Even if it was just a scene where Aurelius is saying, yeah, my blood could cure your cancer, AIDS, but you know, you'd be stuck with it. Or it would cure you, but you would have an insatiable thirst for blood, or like just something that sets the ground for what the rules are.
Yeah.
But there's none of that in this.
Yeah. No, there's no expectation or mythology.
And I know nitpicking there is like slicing open a turd and be like, no, it really smelled inside.
Whoa.
But the fact that she wants him to transform her into a vampire to live forever is so backwards. It should be him falling in love with her saying, let me transform you.
Let
into
me
a vampire.
save you.
Yeah, and live with me forever. And she says, no, I have to deal with the cards that were dealt me because of my religion and just because that's how the cookie crumbles. I want to be mortal. I want to be able to die. And at the very end of the movie, when they're doing Dracula, she looks into his eyes and says, I want to be immortal. And at that moment, she makes the decision.
Or if there's that scene where the fear of death finally gets her, and she really starts to be terrified of the prospect of dying, and in that moment decides I want to become a vampire. But that would require acting.
They did it backwards.
And directing competently, and an idea of how drama works, which that's not here. You just made like a better movie in the 5 seconds that you thought that up
Seriously.
than this guy did in the probably year that he spent working on it.
And edit it and everything. if you're not going to go watch this, like, I can't stress enough that the bizarre mistakes that are unacceptable.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if sometimes, like, you'll see a bad movie and there'll be, like, somebody in the foreground and somebody in the background, and the person that's talking is out of focus because the camera accidentally focused on the person in the back. Okay, mistakes happen. But there are scenes where when you go left and right with the camera, it's called a pan. When you go up and down, it's a tilt. There are shots of, like, the university where he's panning left to right. Mm-hmm. And what will happen a lot of times when you're doing that handheld, you'll be like, I didn't like that one. And you'll keep recording and you'll go back to a starting point and do it again.
Yep.
The scene will start with a second of his readjustment.
Yeah.
And then the pan again.
How do you miss that in the edit?
It's the simplest thing in editing.
There's two editors. How did they miss it?
You grab your mouse and you go to the beginning of that clip and you trim it until it's where you want it. And then you can highlight the area in between the two shots and then hit the delete key and they'll snap together. I could teach somebody. I could teach my mom to do that.
I guarantee you he used iMovie.
Oh, yeah.
Guarantee.
Yeah. But the thing is, I could do that in iMovie.
Yeah.
Anybody could do that edit in iMovie.
But how do you miss the movement that doesn't belong there?
Here's the problem, though, and I'm recognizing this now. If you an editor is not going to be the one to call the shots on it. The director is. So if the director says, "Oh yeah, leave it in," even though the editor says, "Don't do this. This is stupid. You're an idiot.
You're a doofus."
If the director is like Vitaly Versace, he's going to want it whatever way he wants it. So my guess is the editors, I'm not going to completely fault them because my guess they probably recognize this shit and just said, you know what, he's paying us X amount of dollars to do this. We'll just do whatever that
don't
fucking
care.
Because they probably saw the footage and just said, this is shit.
Oh, I don't know, guys. Like, we've seen some really bad stuff. But, oh, man.
Yeah, but there's nothing redeemable about this movie. And it clearly was an elaborate scam to cash in on Twilight.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about it.
And the only reason that it's had any staying power is that it was amazingly did everything wrong. Like it almost takes a talent to be that bad.
Yeah.
Or that oblivious. I mean, just to not know how wrong you're doing it.
And guys, our dear listeners, we've watched some movies that are just bad and like they're not fun to watch.
Some turds.
This one was bad.
This one's hysterically funny though.
John laughed the whole time we watched it.
Get 5 of your friends together, get drunk,
That's
and
the only
laugh
way you can enjoy
your
this.
ass off because it's so amazing in its ineptitude. It's hilarious. I cannot suggest watching this enough. If you've gotten to this point in the episode, go watch it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would say just like
it's free.
It's
free. Right? Why not?
It's free.
If you hate it, you can turn it off.
Well, there's no perfect film, but this proved that there is a imperfect film. Because there's nothing
a perfectly imperfect
There was
film.
nothing that was ever good in the whole movie. There's not even one thing for even a second I can go, well, that was competent.
Yeah. I don't know. I got nothing on this. This was painful for me to watch. I mean, it really was painful.
It's made me question my marriage, as always.
Did Lauren watch any of it?
No, she refused to. She was like,
smart woman.
Yeah,
I almost messaged her and was like, don't.
Here's the thing. Like Lauren is very particular about the movies that she dedicates time to, and I get that.
What must that be like?
So, like, a lot of times when we're watching these movies, I know it's going to just be me watching them because I don't want to subject you to this stuff. We did. I remember we for that Video Valley, we watched Miami Connection.
Oh, yeah.
Together. And she was just like, damn, this is bad. This is real bad. And the thing is, it was. And I realized, like, you have to watch this drunk with friends.
Last Vampire on Earth.
Like, if Lauren was drinking with us, we probably would have enjoyed it more. But
Last Vampire on Earth makes Miami Connection look like Citizen Kane.
Oh, it does.
It really does.
Very much does. Very much does. Yeah, that's all I got on this. Lynn, where can we find you on the Twitter machine?
You can find me at LA_Croft on Twitter. And a quick shout out to our friends at Row House Cinema in Lawrenceville.
Right.
I just want to say, we love hanging out with those guys, and they're good peeps. Just wanted to give them a shout.
Great people. John, where can they find you?
The Unreal J. Wolf.
And you can find me at Brian Contest on the Psycho Show page. Be sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, at Psycho Show. You can also find us on the Epicast Network at epiccastnetwork.com. If you have a favorite movie or a question you want to talk to us about, or maybe you too are suffering from the AIDS cancer and need vampire blood, you can contact us at cinemapsychoshow.com. Make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and iTunes, and we will see you next time.